It is Monday. My gosh, we actually made it finally after a little hiatus there for a couple of weeks, but we are back. Super glad to be here. And Mike, I am super glad to be with you, brother. How are you?
Yes, sir. How you been?
I've been going, brother. Just doing what we do out in the old South. Just working.
Yeah, we had people that went down south there last week and
Yep.
did some work down there in North Carolina. And,
Yes, that's right.
I know they just came back Saturday, and didn't get down as far as CU though.
Your son was there, right?
Yes, he was. He was there.
That's right. And was he leading a Bible study or something?
No, you know how they do. You know, pastor makes the kids step out and do devotions and all that
Yes.
neat stuff. And he had. I purposely, when I send my kids in the mission field, I purposely tell them as little as possible. You know, I know a lot of parents are against that. They want to, prepare the kids. No, I want to throw them to the wolves to see how they adapt, and it's intentional on my part. So I just told Noah, here's your list of stuff you're going to do, list of stuff that you need. We're going to take you, pack you up. We're going to go. What am I going to do? I don't know. You're going to find out when you get there. And then right before we got in the van, someone said, no, you got your devotional ready? He's like, what's that?
Oh, yeah.
But to his credit, he had no clue what it was. To his credit, it was the first night there. They asked one of the kids to do it, and he just stepped up and did it and was the first guy to go. So, let's get it out of the way.
Incredible.
So that was pretty awesome.
It is awesome, actually. I remember those days.
Yeah, I remember him too. You know, I did a lot of growing in those days. You know, and it was good. And you look back at it now, in it, you're like, you always come back and you have the good testimonies. But looking back on it, I think it really was good and developmental.
I agree with you. Yeah, because it was like more of a just don't. Because I think the biggest thing is everybody tends and they don't give you a lot of time to do it.
No,
they don't want you to overthink it.
Right.
Like they want really what's in your heart to kind of come out.
And I have some reservations about some of the way things are done. But we can talk about that off the air. But all in all, I think it's good for them. And it works out. And of course, as usual, they come back with amazing testimonies. And I know, from the stories that I've heard, that my son personally was changed. So, which is awesome.
That is awesome. That is awesome. That seriously is awesome. That's cool. And they got a lot of work done.
They did. I heard they when they got down there. By the time they got down there, all the houses were done. As far as the exterior cleaned out and all that stuff, they were just gutted. And they were going in there and doing some finishing touches. Fortunately for Noah, the house that he was going into, they were just finishing up sheetrock. And he was caulking. He's never held a caulk gun in his life. He said, "That's what I'm doing." I was texting him a couple of times. He goes, my finger hurts." I'm like, dude, if that's all you got to complain about, you're fine.
My finger hurts.
Yep. So that's where we're at. That's what we're doing. So, Kenny, what's new with your world, and what do we want to jump in tonight on the Ken and Mike show? Just so the audience knows, I do have a Kenny Reacts segment tonight. So I got some really good, risque, right on the edge. I like to push that line of stuff to see how Kenny reacts. We have some good trivia that we're going to hopefully get the viewers involved in and see if they can beat you. And then I also have some hot topics. We don't, like you said earlier with the show, we don't have to spend too much time on politics if we don't want to. Maybe we just want to blast through a couple things.
Yeah.
I think everybody has... the idea of where we stand politically, so we probably don't need to beat it too much. But
I'm pretty sure they know. Right?
I do want to throw one clip out there just because it was just joyous on my occasion to watch
I'm looking forward to it.
So, and that's about it. What do you got going on?
Yeah, same. I have just a couple of topics to touch on. One not so political, but if you live towards your way, you might be worried.
Yeah, you gave me a little tip before the show, and I have not heard this, so you're going to have to fill me in on it and be my news reporter tonight.
Absolutely. Yeah, we'll go through it a little bit. And then the other thing is I'm actually want to get your take on what you think about Dan Bongino. Remember we talked about
Oh, yeah. We should talk about that. Hey, Kenny, just on a side note, let me interrupt you for a second.
Yeah.
As everybody probably who's watching or is listening Kenny and I used to do this together in a studio. Now we're doing it in 2 separate locations because Kenny defected and decided he wanted to go south and be a trader.
Yes.
But Kenny, I got to ask you a question.
Yeah.
Do you miss this?
I think I think the nostalgia. Growing up, my father used to take me, so I used to go to my mom's house on Wednesday nights, and we would stop at Stewart's and get a mint chocolate chip ice cream cone. And on top of that, yes, when I did a lot of work with Mr. Halverson and Mr. John there, we would go to Stewart's and we'd grab our coffee, and we'd get off to work. You know what? I like dark coffee. But if I'm going by and it's the morning time and I see a Stewart's, it is nice to have a good Stewart's coffee. It's just different. It's good. Yeah. I do miss Stewart's. I do. So don't put that in my face again.
One of the staples of the Northeast.
And for those folks who are watching that me here, maybe even Tennessee, you don't even know what that is. But that is, if you ever get to New York, you're only going to find it there.
It's a staple in the Northeast part of New York, upper part of New York. And actually, they're branching out. I have seen them go across the border there. They're hitting Massachusetts now, too.
Really?
Yeah.
All right. Well, good for them. I know there's quite a. I mean, I see a lot of folks that they're big on the memorabilia. So they have the Stewart shirts on and hats, and they don't even work there. They just like the shop. Like Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is a huge thing here, and I know everybody around here knows exactly what I'm talking about. It's like a huge.
Oh, I think you mentioned it last time.
Mall. Yeah. They got really cool stuff. So, but yes, Mike, I do miss it. And so in the studio that Mike and I had, by the way, which was a sweet studio, we had a D&D next to us, so we always had D&D.
Oh yeah, we can literally go right next door and get it. Yeah, coffee, yeah. And I'll have you say, Kenny was very instrumental in helping build that studio, and no sooner did we get it finished, he decides to defect.
I know. What was I thinking?
Oh man, goodness,
sometimes I just don't think, Mike.
Now, whoever has that location now has a really nice office back there with nice,
yes.
that pallet wood all over the walls, which was pretty cool.
Yeah, right. So, did they fill that space up?
Oh, it's filled with some. What do you find in every corner store in Hudson?
Dollar store.
No. What else is there?
Oh gosh. Oh, recycling or something.
Yeah, it's always recycling stores. It's your junk that you just put out and someone's trying to make $50,000 off of.
I tell you that, what is it called? The Dollar Tree and all these places. I'm like, nothing's actually $1.
No.
And on top of that, though, how many do you need?
But Kenny, now that you're talking about, I want you to keep that thought in your mind for something that's coming later on in the show.
Oh boy, trivia.
I've given you a clue.
Okay. Okay. Thank you. I need it.
So,
yes.
Go ahead. What do you got for me? Or do you want me to just make you laugh real quick?
I want you to start this off with a little joy.
Oh, I have so much joy in this. You ready for this, Kenny?
I love it.
I have so much. Can you see that? Can you see that?
You see.
Can you see that, Kenny? I'm sorry. I'm sorry for to the listeners and watchers at home, but this gives me so much joy. I just got it.
I'm sorry. That what I was doing had value.
Wipe your own tears, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing. And for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing.
I hope she rewatched that. I hope she sees this.
That what I was doing had value.
Wipe your own tears, and for God's sakes, stop whining. It's embarrassing.
No, your racism and your constant rhetoric had no value at all.
That was hilarious.
Don't let the door hit you on the way out. See ya.
She's such a race baiter too. That's the funny thing is that she always talked tough, but when it came to her, I had to play that. We don't need to spend a lot of time on it. I just thought you would enjoy that because I laughed hysterically when I saw it.
Oh, I'm sure Whoopi Goldberg called her afterwards just to console her and make sure she was okay.
They're probably gonna offer her another spot. They'll probably offer her a spot in The View.
I keep seeing stuff that Whoopi's going to be gone.
We can only hope, but
oh my gosh,
they're just not going to make my wishes come true.
What happened to the Whoopi of the Sister Act world?
Oh my gosh, she was so awesome. The original Whoopi with her, Billy Crystal, Robin Williams, they used to do the comedy tour together in the 80s. I don't know if you might be just too young to remember that, but I remember those three together all the time. Every year they used to do the comedy tour, and they were fabulous, and they were very likable and relatable. Now she's just a, thank
She's
God.
mad at everybody.
Thank God I'm not Christian because I can't say what I really want to say.
But dude, anytime they have somebody, even people who she agrees with, if they say a little bit of something, she's like, let me just say my piece. And they're like, oh, here she comes.
Right.
And then she'll start to go off on a tangent. And it's completely irrational.
Absolutely.
And just hateful. And everybody else is hateful though. She's a miserable, she's not married or anything, is she?
I don't know. Would you marry her?
No. Whatever the poor soul out there that did, it's only for the money. I mean, come on. No.
Well, I might take one for the team. Depends on how much we're talking.
Yeah, it's got to be quite up
I mean,
there.
I can plug my ears for a lot. Depends on how many zeros are there. Well, I have to close my eyes too, wouldn't I? Never mind.
Well, so did Demi Moore with Patrick with Ghost.
What do you mean?
Do you remember that movie?
I do remember that movie. Yeah, okay. Yep, I remember that movie. Yep.
Think about it. Like the scene, and they show Patrick and her making out, but it's actually not really Patrick. Think about that.
I'd rather not, thanks.
Right? I never, when I saw
This is
that.
a family-friendly show, Kenny.
No, but when I was younger and saw that, I'm like, I was like, okay. So somehow she just turned into Patrick Swayze. Right? Swayze took over her body. But then when you get done with it, you're like, oh my gosh. Whoopee the whole time. That's disgusting.
Oh gosh.
So
anyway. So
yeah,
I got something else for you.
I'm ready.
Here, let's talk about this real briefly. We could talk. We could talk about this one real briefly, and tell me what's your reaction to this.
Make of what Trump has said about what do you make of what Trump has said about diversity, equity, and inclusion policies? He's basically suggested that they should be scrapped.
They should be scrapped. Yeah, diversity, equity, and inclusion are three wonderful sounding words that are in fact a scheme to do the exact opposite. It's to divide, and it's to create inequality. It's to revive racism, but this time against white people. It's all based on this idea that there's an oppressor and oppressed. It's what I call neo-communism, because the communism before 1989 failed. It was centered around class and economic inequality. But this DEI scheme is based on race and identity politics. And these things are terrible, and we've seen the outcome of that. So for the Trump administration to go out and say, let's get rid of this, I'm very much in favor of that.
Okay. That's my girl right there. just for her wisdom.
Yeah.
My gosh. And she can get away with saying all those things too. That's what's nice about it.
It's brilliant because I can't.
Yeah.
We've talked about this before.
Mm-hmm.
And I still would love to have a panel.
Yes, that's right.
And have a discussion, knowing the rules going in. The things might be said that are hurtful. Things might be said that are stereotypical. And things that might be said that are learned discrimination. And I'm putting myself out there. I would love to have a panel of people of both sexes, multiple races, and just have a conversation. What stereotypes did you learn? Explain, because I would love, I'm not black, okay? So, despite what you might think, I'm not black. And there's certain experiences that black people have that I'll never understand. But I would like to try to. And I want to be able to try to understand those things by articulating certain things without risk of fearing that I'm going to offend. Follow me?
I do.
Because there's stereotypes, and there's funny stereotypes, and if any of them have a sense of humor or want to be real, they'll laugh with you too. And the same thing for us. Okay. I've posted, on social media before that little meme that it says, crackers like cheese too. Because it was just a really bad advertisement. It shows a white girl eating a cracker. It's like, no, we prefer we prefer to be called white folk, But it's that, and I'd like to sit down and have those uncomfortable conversations, knowing my heart before you come into it, knowing your heart before you coming into it, and knowing the people that are going to be in the panel, knowing their heart before they come into it. So listen, I'm going to say some things that are difficult to say because we want answers and we want to have that conversation. We want to open up that dialogue. So in a way, I want, the people to have licensure to come in and say whatever they want to say, whatever's on their heart, without risk of offending or being maligned, if you will. Obviously, I'm not asking you to give me the card to say the N word. I'm not talking like that. But let's have these conversations. And I think, and that's how you get past these race issues instead of everything being a race issue. Because we can find a race issue in any and every topic that they want to perpetuate in the news today. Or in the culture today, if you will. So, like things like, is there really white privilege? Do you, as a black person, really feel like there's white privilege? Explain that to me. And vice versa. And, allow me to tell you why I think you're wrong without you throwing up these walls.
Yeah. Well, that's the key.
Right. So I would love to have this discussion, an honest discussion.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. And I think the thing, like you mentioned, actually what she just mentioned in that video, right?
Well, that's what we start with. She can say those things.
An oppressor, right? But there's the oppressed and the oppressor. Are you really a victim? Or have you been told you are?
And like she was saying, with that DEI is really just rebranding and bringing back racism, only this time it's against white people. If we said that in the way she said that, we would be hung. I mean, we don't have a large platform. Ken and Mike Show will have a large platform, but right now we don't. Okay. Right. And if I were to say that without that video being there to preface what we're just talking about and say, DEI is the introduction of racism towards white people, holy cow, we'd be canceled in a second.
Oh, yeah. Easily. Absolutely. Yep. That's exactly right. And that's what's sad about it. Again, it's gone in reverse. It's absolutely I don't know. It's just completely wrong on so many levels, and it's doing a disservice, as we've said before on many times in different past shows. It's just doing a disservice to every single person, and that's why I think we talk about the. I think we talked. Yeah, we did talk about this, but for example, I understand the principle of making like the 4th of July the main holiday, and the reason being is that if we're all here in this country and if we're all Americans, and you're constantly shoving the differences down somebody's throat just to prove some type of a point, like just be you and enjoy who you are and love exactly who you are,
right.
Black, white, Asian, whatever.
We talked about this in the last show. How do you stop racism? You stop talking about it,
Yeah. Right.
And I think that it's not just racism. I think it's anything. How do you stop people bashing on transgender people? Well, stop pushing the narrative and stop talking about it. Let them live their lives. I mean, don't make me adapt. Have to change my way of living just to, make other people feel better. But how do we stop any sort of hate? Stop talking about it. Do we acknowledge hate when it happens? Yes, but we don't have to be looking for it. It'll find us all by itself. And and that's where I'm at. Anything, bullying. I'm going to say something controversial here. You want to stop bullying, stop talking about it. But, we want to really stop, be effective with bullying. I think half our problems in our culture, and I'm going to say this kind of tongue in cheek, but there's a little truth to it. We have a lot of problems we have in our culture because we got rid of bullying.
Oh, agreed. Agreed.
Now, I'm not saying to go and allow your kid to go pick on Four Eyes in
No,
the
but it's
back
calling
corner.
out behavior. Like, hey,
Right.
that is weird.
Yeah.
And you say that's considered bullying. No,
right.
I'm
But people
saying
are less
making
likely to do the weird behavior
Yeah.
when they feel like their peers are going to look at them weird. And that's the truth.
Right.
And I'm not saying to go take your kid like we did to a kid in school, and this is real bullying, where we took a kid and we gave him the swirly in the bathroom. You know, you put his head in the toilet and you flushed it. I'm not talking that type of bullying.
Where's that guy now?
I hope he's still functioning.
He's probably watching this right now. He's so happy. FBI, if you are listening, Mike Hansen knows the name.
Hey, but you know what? I'll say the opposite too. I was bullied. Listen, for years, I mean, I didn't come into my own, if you will, and wasn't part of the popular crowd, if you will, until probably my sophomore, junior, maybe more my junior year. I got along with everybody, but man, there were a lot of people that had a problem with me. And I was a very awkward kid until I came into my own. I was a very dorky kid. I mean, for the early part of my school days or grade school, I was as coordinated as a gnat. You know, I mean, just it was like watching a drunk kid on the sports field. You know, it's just and you know what? I was bullied, but I think it built character. You know, I'm stronger for it. If you coddled me in the corner, I'd probably be, asking you to call me Michelle right now.
My dad was too, and some of his buddies, who he stayed friends with forever, were the ones who kind of rescued him out of that and kind of like befriended him and helped him in certain ways. And one of those guys was a black person who was ended up being his best buddy forever too. Things were different then, and they would beat up pretty hard, and afterwards they'd help each other up and say, "Are we good here?"
Right.
That type of thing. And nowadays, sometimes I'm like, somebody needs to take some.
I think some healthy bullying is good for the culture. Now there is a line. I'm not going to tell you where that line is, but there is a line.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're not going to bully the kid who comes in with leg braces or is in a wheelchair and has some sort of handicap that is not of any.
Reminded me of an old commercial.
That is not of his own doing,
Do you ever seen that when the kid's in the wheelchair and they're like making fun of him, and he's like saying something about he's my friend. He's like, people who act like this are retarded. That was like 70s,
yes.
80s
Yes, I remember, and that was a real commercial. I remember that. Kenny, you're going to get canceled for just saying that word. I guarantee you that audio is going to be clipped.
I just crack it. I'm like, I'm like, wow. And like, I remember watching that stuff. You didn't think anything of it. Nowadays, you're like, wow.
Listen,
that's crazy.
And how sensitive have we become as a culture?
Yeah.
I mean, you literally, people they grasp their pearls. They clutch their pearls when you say that word. I'm sorry. I don't have a problem with that word. Now, if you're using it derogatory towards people and literally making fun of somebody because they have a handicap like that, yeah, but that was actually a medical classification up until recently.
Yeah. Yeah, it absolutely was. It was.
And listen, here's your joke and here's your opportunity to bully me, okay? When I was born, and there was a whole backstory to it and everything. But there was a time in my life when I
when you were born, there's a backstory.
There was a backstory. I mean, but when I was born prematurely, and part of the reasons why I was adopted and all that stuff is because I found my medical papers. But up until about 1 year old, I was deemed environmentally retarded. That was the term they used. Yeah. And it's like, look, you can recover people. No, but anyway, some will say I still am. But
the environment's changed so much dramatically.
So, but yeah, I bring back bullying, make bullying great again.
And Christina actually said too, it's like we all go through some kind of bullying. And it's true. We all do it to some extent. But that's kind of where our characters created.
Yeah.
We see who our real friends are.
Make bullying great again.
Yeah, make America healthy. Make America. Oh goodness. Speaking of Bullying people.
Retards?
Since we're on that subject, let me go ahead and see if I can bring it up. Let me see if
You
this-
didn't catch it.
What did you say?
You're like, speaking of, and I said, retards.
Let me see if this actually is going to give me the. Yes. Okay. There he is. Okay. So, some of you may have heard of this before. Maybe you haven't. This was a while ago that this happened. But I guess the big story now is he is now. Think about this, dude. You have people out there that really should never see the light of day ever again. They should be put away in a psych ward or in jail, something, and just stay there. Period. Especially people like, I think what was there? There was essentially people that would use their psychotic people they put them in war so they would be like crazy and fighting back in the day, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's where someone like this guy belongs. So this gentleman, I'll show you the picture here. Maybe you've seen it before.
Actually, before you just said something really important that made me think of something. I'll also go out on the whim and say we never should have shut down the mental institutions.
Agreed.
Because we probably wouldn't have half the things that we're seeing on the streets right now.
Agreed.
But go ahead.
Yeah. No. I mean, so this gentleman, right here.
Oh, he looks fun.
This is called the Connecticut, and this is what he's right up here, right near you.
I think I'm gonna go visit this dude. He looks fun.
Yeah, he's a heck of a guy. Listen to this. Ready?
Yep.
Connecticut cannibal killer. Now, listen to this though. He with an axe. I don't. For those who are watching, I apologize for the being graphic here, but just putting it out there for you. This is what you got in your backyard. He literally
on the grill
used an axe and butchered a homeless man, chopped him up, and took his organs out. Some of them. He ate the man's brain and eyeball.
Oh gosh.
Okay. And literally, I mean, this is what he did. And while drinking sake, and he went to a
while drinking sake?
Yeah.
Gotta have a chaser with that eyeball, I guess.
I mean, I guess he just knows what it goes good with, right? So he is being released, Michael, in Connecticut from the psychiatric hospital. He's going to be able to get out, walk around the grounds, and he's going to be able to have days where he can go about amongst the regular people on parole.
He's being released out into the public.
So he's on parole. He's being watched, but he can have his moments where he can go outside and do his thing at the whatever place he's going to be staying. But they're going to give him days, essentially like field trips, where he can go and be part of society.
Wow.
I guess,
well, can I make an observation or something you probably should be aware of? You probably should not invite him to your church potluck.
See, there's going to be a bleeding heart out there.
You don't know what you're going to be eating.
Yeah, well, don't. Yeah, I hate those potlucks anyway. Don't eat the soup.
Why does this taste like Uncle Gerald?
Uncle Buck. Oh man, but listen, a clinically insane Connecticut man, okay, who ate part of his victim's brain and one of his eyeballs while drinking sake, has been granted conditional release from a maximum security psychiatric hospital in a decision which critics say puts public safety in jeopardy. Can you believe they said that?
No.
So his name is Tyree Smith. He was found guilty by reason of insanity, of course, of killing a homeless man. So with a hatchet and eating his body parts, he was ordered confined to Whiting Forensic Hospital in Middletown, Connecticut for 60 years. But now, so I won't go into the gruesome details here, but here's what they said. The terrible decision so this decision they're saying and the family, by the way, is super anxious. It's mind-boggling, and they're saying this terrible decision puts public safety at jeopardy, and it's yet another terrible message to send to Connecticut violent crime victims and their families.
This isn't New York, because I was going to ask you if this is part of the bail reform. But that's not New York. But Connecticut's very liberal too, aren't they?
Yeah, absolutely. It's blue. But the state psychiatric security review board granted Smith conditional release from the hospital Friday after hearing from the
on good behavior.
Yeah, listen to the. I'm not. Yes, Listen to this.
You didn't need anybody
blow
today.
your mind. I don't have the video to show everybody, but this lady in the court said in this place, after hearing from a psychiatrist who's a moron, said Smith's schizophrenia and alcohol and drug disorders were in full remission as a result of medication and other treatment. So a conditional release means Smith will be placed in a community setting, but under supervision with strict conditions, including continuing treatment. Now, I'll just kind of summarize this now. Listen to this. She said that he pinky swears, right, that he's better. He's all better, and he doesn't have those thoughts anymore.
Does he remember doing them?
But if he does, Mike, he will be sure to contact somebody right away. So if he's in your backyard, Mike, and he's starting to have thoughts.
No, I got a question though. Can schizophrenia go into remission?
What's that? Yeah, they're in full remission.
No, schizophrenia can go in remission. I didn't know that was a thing.
Well, he says so. He says he's not seeing.
I mean, I need somebody with a higher degree of intelligence than me to answer that question, because I did not know that was something that can go into remission. Now, maybe it can be heavily suppressed by medication, but God forbid, medication sometimes gives you a moment of clarity, and all of a sudden it stops working for a second. I don't want to be around when that happens.
Decide not to take it that morning, right?
Oops, I forgot. I'll double up tomorrow.
Yeah, right. Oh shoot! I'm already eating something.
It's like birth control, right?
Right.
You miss a day. Oh, screw it.
I missed my medication. That's the only reason why I was eating this. But this is what's happening, and it's very interesting. I'll tell you that. This is just the stupidity. It's moronic.
Wow.
Yep. So once again, you can thank the Joy Behards and the Whoopi Goldbergs. I'm sure this is their buddy. So anyway,
yeah.
That's in Connecticut. I wanted to really put it out there for you, just to give you some hope there in what's happening, and they're really helping people and bringing them into remission and getting people out to society at a theater near you, Mike.
I can't wait.
Yeah. So there you go, buddy. You're welcome.
Thanks for the update.
Yeah, you're welcome.
I just want. Does Frank's Red Hot make it taste better?
Yeah, I'm sure it does. Soak that thing for a while, marinate it.
Oh my goodness!
Could you imagine though?
Wow.
I can't. I mean, just the thought of that obviously is so sickening. You've got to be really, really sick in the head.
So what? Yuck.
Either way, though, you killed somebody.
I almost want to get back to politics now, Kenny.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean. Okay. You went from guys eating eyeballs and brains to, it was almost friendlier to talk about Trump.
Right, exactly. Well, hey, here's another thing I'm gonna throw out there. What do you think about Dan Bongino?
I'm excited because he's a no BS kind of guy.
FBI deputy director, and he deserves it. He should be there.
And it's ironic that you said that, because I was watching a video about him today, and he had no inkling and no desire to get back into government, back into being a government employee at all. And he said Trump would have to ask him specifically to do it.
He did.
And he said that, and he doesn't do it for the notoriety, and he doesn't do it for recognition. And he would even do it for no pay. That's how much he respects Trump.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. Yep. And he really loves America.
And I think, correct me if I'm wrong, wasn't he part of the Secret Service?
Yes. Yep.
And I think he was even on the Obama detail, wasn't he?
He was.
Yeah.
Yep. He was, and he took it very seriously. He's like, I don't care. He's like, that's my job, And he saw a lot of stuff. So when he brings to the table on his show all the time is really,
it's real. It's real life. I know what I'm talking about.
Exactly. That's why I really love his show. And
as opposed to the Ken and Mike show, where we just make crap up as we go along.
Right. he's got like the number one streaming. I mean, he's
going to give that up.
I've been watching my phone today just to see if it was going to blow up with him calling me.
I thought we would do it together, but I mean, if you're all about yourself,
No.
I'm
saying the Ken and Mike show. That's exactly what I meant. No, I wouldn't do that by myself. No way.
That's funny. That's funny. So,
I've been waiting. So
real quick,
I-
I'll just touch on it real quick with,
Yeah.
because there's somebody in my life that I've been talking politics with, and it's, the sky is falling every day. I talk to this person, and the sky's falling, the world's going to end, and we're living under great oppressive rule of King Trump or dictator Trump, depending on which day of the week it is. But the judge that blocked Doge, the federal judge that blocked Doge from looking into the financials and investigating and all that stuff, and then eventually was overturned. And I don't know if you heard about that. And people are starting to say, well, he's wielding too much power. This, that, and the third about we need to have bipartisanship in our government. I mean, where was that trumpet being blown when Obama was silencing or Biden was silencing everybody via social media, stacking the courts against Trump, trying to remove him off of the ballots in 31 plus states and all that stuff. But I found this. I can't give credit to who it was from because I actually think it was one of those AI things. But I found this online. So this is I can't get credit for what I'm about to read you, but I think it is spot on. That I just wanted to read it because I didn't want to take any credit for myself, but it articulates better than what I can do. And I thought this was a great argument.
Can I just say before we?
Go ahead.
I absolutely love what they're doing, and I love that we're going to be able to see what's going on with our tax dollars. And and Elon said even the mistakes that we make, you'll be able to comment and you'll see the good and the bad.
Yeah.
And to me, I'm like, why wouldn't you want that? That's not.
Well, now that everybody's saying, well, the left is saying, well, now we're siding with Russia, and all of a sudden we're going to be Russia puppets, and they unilaterally, without prompting, attacked the Ukraine. Listen, I said this. I don't know if you watch any of my TikToks, but I said this on TikTok. I said, to be honest with you, I don't care about either one of those countries. And that's controversial. But I'll just put it out there. I don't care about the Ukraine because if you know anything about the corruption in that leadership in Ukraine and the things that have gone on with Biden and all that stuff, I have no respect for the Ukraine at all. Now, the people I feel bad for, but I'm not talking, when I say Ukraine, I'm not talking about the people. So I could care less where we stand politically with Ukraine. And I can care just as much less about what goes on with Russia because Russia was a crap, or still is a crap country for years and trying to wield power that they shouldn't, and trying to threaten us nuclear, and we had the Cold War for all those years. So either one of those countries, I don't care. I don't think we need to police it unless somehow it's going to come to our doorstep. We side with Russia, fine. We side with Ukraine, fine. I want my money back. That's all.
Yeah, exactly.
I really don't care. I have no skin in the game. And you can spin that to how Trump's an evil person all you want. But anyway, back to my point that I wanted to read about the judge.
Yes.
If any random judge can unilaterally block every presidential action nationwide, then elections become meaningless. The people vote for a leader to set policies, not unelected activist judges to overrule them at every turn. This is a judicial tyranny, not democracy. For years, the left-wing judges have abused their power to obstruct conservative policies while rubber stamping radical leftist overreach under Biden's courts, and they had no problem letting his administration trample on constitutional rights. But now that Trump is back, these same activist judges are suddenly declaring war on executive authority. The double standard is undeniable. This is not how a constitutional republic is supposed to function. Presidents are elected to lead, and their policies should not be sabotaged by judicial operatives working on behalf of the radical left. If democracy means anything, then the will of the people must be respected. The judiciary was never meant to be a partisan weapon. It's time to rein in activist judges who think they can override the elective government, and Congress should act to curb their power, and the Supreme Court must step in to restore the balance. If America is to survive as a functioning democracy, judicial overreach must be stopped before it's too late.
Mm.
And I just said, that's perfectly well stated. I couldn't have said it better myself.
Absolutely. And dude, I couldn't say it. None of us could say it, but that was perfect. And the thing is, once again, if it was the Biden administration doing something like this, that we could see what was going on, which, by the way, from our press secretary to every person that comes on the platform to have a conversation, think about the difference of competency that we have now in the White House and of who speaks compared to what we had before. People who can finish sentences, people who can actually say hey, oh, so you guys have kept talking about this. Well, I've got receipts right here. This is what's actually happening.
Right. Or,
hey, all the Elon Musk talking about this is what we're doing. So now that when they're telling you verbatim what they're doing, it's like, now we're going to be more miserable.
He was a darling of the left about 4 years ago. Now they hate him.
Yeah. Oh yeah, exactly. And same thing with Trump.
Yeah.
I love watching those old clips of him talking with Whoopi Goldberg, and they're all buddies and they're all friends. And now all of a sudden he's just
Oprah wrote him that love letter.
Yeah. It's insane.
But hey, we should transition.
People not realize that we don't have these videos from back in the day to be able to.
Hey, the internet is forever.
Exactly.
Remember that when you're sending those pictures, especially when you send them to me, Kenny.
Oh yes.
No, I'm not deleting those. I'm using this as blackmail.
Trump is in the White House. That means Ken and Mike are out of the outhouse and back in the studio for the Ken and Mike Show. So if you want real, honest talk with a dose of entertainment, no need to look any further. Ken and Mike have you covered. Ken and Mike are returning with an all-new show, but with the same potent and highly absorbable nutritional ingredients: truth, sarcasm, wit, and humor. New episode drops every Thursday at 7 p.m. Eastern Time, starting November 21st on all major platforms. So tune in and join the conversation with Ken and Mike on The Ken and Mike Show. The Ken and Mike Show is not FDA approved and is not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your doctor and or therapist before listening, as it may cause major side effects triggered by truth.
Let's transition. We'll get out of politics.
I wouldn't say that.
Let's transition. Well, we were just talking about the pictures you sent me. That's why I'm talking about transition.
Let's do it.
All right, so we're going to transition. Okay. I don't know who's watching at home right now because we're down to 2 viewers, but hey, it is what it is. I think it's because it was late at night, but hey, we do what we do.
We do what we do.
All right. So, do we want to do Kenny Reacts or do we want to do trivia? I think we should do Kenny Reacts first. What do you think?
Let's do it.
Right.
Let's get the party started.
Let's do the Kenny Reacts first, okay? Everybody buckle your seatbelts. I should do an audio montage before we do each one of these segments. I'm going to put something together.
Okay.
So we're going to do some the Kenny Reacts segments, and then we will slam right into trivia.
Let's do it.
All right. So let me go right down here to Kenny. We need you to react, all right? This is kids' drawings.
I love it. This is my dad. Is that intentional? That dad must really do that.
I have no idea, but some kid drew this. I just thought you might have.
Dad wears glasses and is bullied, and that's why he's putting the fingers up. He's still upset from his bullying days. Nailed it.
Next one, number 1. This is the men and women's room. Natural grain in the wood. Is this awesome or what?
Is that water stain?
No, this is the natural grain of the wood. How is that not awesome?
There's no way they didn't. Somebody had to look at it and be like, "This is perfect." Wow. Hung and not sprung. They're good.
Kenny Reacts. Moving on. Next. Poor guy. He just wanted to go to the pizza parlor and wound up matching the
Oh my gosh, I
tablecloth.
didn't even just catch that. That's incredible. That's really sad.
Oh boy.
Get your shirt back. Get your money back, buddy.
All right. Next up on Kenny Reacts. Should we change the color of the labels?
Oh my gosh. That would suck. Could you imagine?
Gotta sneeze. What would happen if you have allergies and then sneeze and took the other one?
Oh my gosh. See, that stuff in our medicine cabinet freaks me out because there are things that are just that look like a normal cream and it's really not. That kind of stuff. Like kids, don't go in the medicine cabinet.
Next picture on Kenny Reacts. You ready, Kenny? What happened here?
No. Was that did it fall down?
I'm assuming.
Oh gosh. That's just
Slow down there, Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. What are you doing, buddy? I get that you want Sam to come on down, but that's not the way to do it. Reminds me of my dog.
Okay. Bad placement for advertisement.
For those who request cremation, there are many options to choose from.
And look at the ad underneath it.
See what's see what's cooking.
Under
A body. Oh, Taylor or Tyler, whatever the guy's name is in Connecticut, would love this. He'd be there.
Oh my goodness. Next
He
up
hasn't had a cooked version before.
on Kenny Reacts.
Overcomes illness and slaps fever. Oh gosh, that's great. Holy goodness gracious!
So I'm assuming the team name is Hooker, and the other team is
What
Beaver.
a bad name.
But come on, tell me the editor didn't do that on purpose.
Oh, they had to have. And why would your team name be Hooker? What does that even mean? Besides what we know it means, right?
Got $5, Kenny? I'll tell you.
Tell me or show me. All right.
See if you can find it.
Okay. Looking at the pillow.
I'm just going to wait here and see if you find it. See if the people at home find it. Let's see who finds it first.
Is it on the wall?
Kenny, look at the reflection of the lamp.
Hold on. Explain it to me like I'm a kindergartner.
The reflection spells something on the wall.
Does it say anal?
Yes.
That's amazing. There's no way they intended that.
No.
Great. What a weird lamp.
Could you imagine just walking out one day? I mean, imagine you're a pot smoker. Like getting high one day and just looking at the wall. Whoa.
Dude. Anal.
Next.
After 30 weeks of being pregnant, the baby is now fully formed inside. What's up with her arm? Her face.
Oh, what's up with the baby? But any baby, you know, any baby that sits like that inside the womb, Kenny?
The legs inside. It's like it's like you're sitting inside of a robot. Oh my gosh. No, the baby does not look. What the heck? Please tell me nobody paid for that book. What the
Oh
heck?
my goodness.
That baby is literally using the mom as a robot. That mom's face her eyes are really spread apart too.
Yeah,
And that arm is so. This is a bet. Who is this artist?
I have no idea. Next up on Kenny Reacts.
Are they watching?
Well, it looks like they're laughing at you.
Oh yeah, that's where is this? Is this European or something like that?
Yo, European, all right.
No pun intended.
Yes, you are
Those are
peeing.
interesting urinals, though. They look very clean.
Yeah.
She's definitely the one in the middle is definitely looking and being like, "Oh, what you got there?" Oh,
Next
my
up
God.
on Kenny Reacts. Just read it.
Show what you did to plant your seed.
I laughed out loud the first time I saw this. And obviously that's a
Supposed to
kid
be a
making a finger. I feel like a 12-year-old right now.
You're such boys. Oh, this is great. Oh my gosh. my son would be dying right now. There's no way. I'd love to. I would love to have been in the room when the teacher saw that. Oh, there's no way they didn't laugh at this.
Oh, I'm crying right now, dude. This is the second time I've seen it.
Oh, that's great.
Oh, man. All right, here's the last one of Kenny Reacts.
Proctor and proctorology.
I
Proctorology.
kid drew this.
Study.
Look
of
at the detail.
Oh my gosh. What's in his other hand?
I don't know, but why is it red?
Oh my gosh. Oh, dude. Holy. I wonder if this kid, I wonder when this was. I wonder if he does this job. Probably has this on the wall of his office right now. That is crazy.
Proctor.
You could, and that's a good drawing. You can tell what he's doing. He's literally poking that thing.
Oh, wow.
That's great, dude. I don't know where you find these. Holy moly.
So that was this week's Kenny Reacts.
Oh, that's great. I want that picture.
Oh, my goodness.
I want to just put it in my kid's book bag and tell them to hand this in. What is it? It's part of your project that we did a while ago. Just hand it to the teacher.
Oh, man, that was funny. Anyway, that was this week's segment of Kenny Reacts, and I will keep them coming. All right, Kenny, buckle up your seatbelts. People at home, get ready. We are going to see who can beat Kenny in trivia. Are we ready? Nobody? You sure about that?
I'm positive.
All right, Kenny, we're going to launch the trivia game, and we're going to see how we do.
All right.
Are you ready?
I am ready.
All right, Kenny, can you see what's going on there? Should I make it a little bit bigger for you?
Let's see here. Let me go. Let me make sure I have my right screen up here.
There you go. I made it a little
That's
bit bigger for you, okay?
Perfect.
All right, Kenny. All right, people at home, you know the rules. You cannot answer any of the questions until, well, I can't even talk now, until Kenny gets all 3 X's. All right. So, Kenny.
And I remember my hint. I'm trying to remember, what's my hint?
Oh, it's too late now. We're past that.
Shoot. Okay.
All
Let's
right.
go.
Round 1. Are we ready?
Ready.
All right. Round 1. Name a reason you might get rid of an old family heirloom. Top 10 answers on the board, Kenny. Name a reason why you might get rid of a family heirloom. You get 3 strikes. We will turn it to the people at home to get your points.
Superstitious, like you're evil, like there's evil, like it's like an old. They say you shouldn't keep old wedding rings because they could have like.
Wow, you're just thinking too deep.
Thing. Oh no! Oh no! What? No. I'm still okay. A family heirloom now. Okay.
Why might you get rid of a family heirloom?
Money.
Money, Kenny says. Is money on the board, ladies and gentlemen?
Thank you. Gosh, I was getting nervous for a second.
Christina says she's still waiting on her mug. I'm still waiting to see you out in public somewhere where I can give it to you. Or you can just drop your address in Messenger and we'll mail it to you. If you win this, you get a mug.
Can I get my own mug?
Kenny, you got a bunch of them.
All right. Why would I get rid of a family heirloom? Okay. Give me an example of a good family heirloom. That won't give anything away. Just give me an example.
Well, somebody handed down a sweater that's been in the house in the generations for years, an old piece of jewelry, something.
Right. All right. Someone you would give it away because it's, for example, if a mother was giving their daughter, let's see. No, never mind.
Name a reason why you might get rid of an old family heirloom.
You hate one of the family members, despise, frustrated, angry, falling out. Oh, good. Okay, there we go. I was trying to name anything. Anything in that realm.
All right, we're gonna have to add some time here to Kenny, because you're kind of dragging it out.
Okay.
All right, Kenny, we're gonna give you 30 seconds for each one.
Okay.
All right, so you only got one strike. You have 2 answers on the board. You have 5 more remaining. Name a reason you might get rid of an old family heirloom.
Family Feud, Sell, Need Money. We got those. Trade.
It is not a trade.
Okay. It's ugly.
Now you're thinking. 30 seconds, Kenny. You have 2 strikes. You have 4 answers left on the board. Name a reason you might get rid of an old family heirloom.
Are these pretty easy?
Yeah.
Not if you don't know them.
You got 15 seconds, Kenny.
Get rid of it. I'd get rid of it.
While
because-
Kenny's thinking here, by the time I'm done with my sentence, we're going to let him come up with the answer. But I'm going to tell you, people at home, the first person that puts the answer in the chat will get credit for the turn. So, Kenny, what is your
It's taking up space.
final answer? Taking up space. We will classify that under too much stuff. You have 3 answers left on the board. You have 2 strikes. Name a reason you might get rid of an old family heirloom.
Too much stuff. Family Feud, ugly. Sell, Need More Money.
15 seconds.
Gosh, I'm to give to another family member because it's
All right. People at home, there's a bit of a time delay, so we will wait a second. We'll wait for the people to populate at home. Give us an answer. Name a reason why you would get rid of a family heirloom. I saw the 3 strikes come up on the broadcast. Let's see if somebody puts anything in the chat. And see if they get the points, Kenny.
If it's Christina, I'm sure she will.
Uh-oh.
Oh, boy. What?
I don't see any answers coming from the people at home.
Uh-oh, here she goes.
Find it inconvenient to keep. And that says no. Christina, you just gave the points to Kenny.
My friend, thank you.
Do you want to see the last remaining answers?
I do.
Last remaining answers are you're moving. Number 3, you had a divorce. And the number 1 answer is it's broken.
God, okay. I would never have got those. The divorce one, I was thinking about it, but I was overthinking it. I was kind of, but I don't know.
All right, are you ready for round 2?
I'm ready.
Round 2. Here we go. Let's go to round 2. Kenny, round 2. Tell me something many people do just once a week.
Workout.
There's workout in there. Name something you do just once a week. I do all of these once a week. They're pretty dead.
You really?
Pretty dead on, yeah.
Schedule.
Schedule what? No.
Plan
My goodness.
for the week.
Oh, you got 2 strikes, man.
I don't get this.
Wow. Come on.
Once a week. I don't know. I'm not.
Name something you do once a week. You
Party.
better do this
Drink.
once a week.
I better do this once a week.
All right, I heard you give 2 answers there, and I'm not going to say anything. Give me an answer.
Oh, drink. Party.
Drink once a week. Wow, this is the first time you haven't gotten an answer on the board. We're going to move to the people at home. Christina, you got to give this guy some points here, or give yourself some points. This one's easy. All right, who else is in the chat that can add to this? Number 4. Tell me something many people do once a week. We're turning over to the people at home. First answer on the board gets the points. If they actually get one. We will wait. There is a time delay.
I really don't know.
Tell me something many people do just once a week.
Go to church.
You can't answer anymore, Kenny. We're going to the people at home. There are 4 people in the chat. Somebody. Christina said go to church.
My answer.
That is the number 1 answer. She gets 84
I think we should
points.
split that, Christina.
All right. Do you guys want to see what the top answers are?
I'm ready.
Number 6. Eat out at a
Really
restaurant.
simple, isn't it?
Sleep in. Clean the house.
I do that every day.
Laundry.
Every day.
And last but not least,
I feel like we do that every day.
grocery shopping.
Yeah.
All right, we have a 49 to 84 score. So if anybody else wants to chime in, and unless it's just Christina, I'm going to put her down for the 84 points. Okay? Just in case somebody else.
Wait a minute. I'll clear something up. There's a delay, so no, I did not read yours at all.
All right, we're moving on to round 3. Round 3, are we ready?
Ready.
All right, round 3. Kenny, name something you might eat on a hamburger.
Oh.
Oh, sorry, eat with a hamburger. My bad.
Okay.
Eat with a hamburger.
Cheese.
Would you eat cheese with a hamburger?
With fries.
Number 1 answer is French fries.
Coleslaw. Pickle. Not on it though. Not on a hamburger. Right?
Not on it, no.
Okay. Okay, so French fries, pickles.
Name something you might eat with a hamburger.
A beverage. Oh, that's not really eating, though.
You have 2 strikes on the board.
Buzzer.
You have 1, 2, 3, 4 more answers left. Name something you might eat with your hamburger.
Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I think I only would have gotten 1 more of these answers. I think I would have gotten.
I don't even know what goes with a hamburger. I don't even know. French fries.
Say the next thing, Kenny. I know you're thinking it.
What?
All right, people at home, be prepared. Kenny's got about 15 more seconds to come up with an answer.
French
He's got
fries.
2 strikes on the board.
Pickles.
What is something someone might eat with a hamburger?
Beans.
Beans? It's not hot dogs, Kenny.
I don't know.
All right, we're going to the people at home.
I know. I am.
Going to the people at home. Here we go. Name something you might eat with a hamburger. There is a delay. Kenny, you got 2 of the answers. Let's see if our viewers at home will beat you out. Let's see. 115 points. If they don't get it, Kenny, you get the steal in that round.
Oh my gosh.
First answer in was chips. That was the first answer we are taking. Chips is not on the board.
Really?
Kenny, you get the answer, or you get the points for that round. However, Christina, you were slow on the uptake there. Someone beat you to it. Your next answer was correct, and it is onion rings.
I was thinking that earlier, and I didn't say it.
And then somebody said,
salad.
Christina said salad, and that is your number 3 answer. Your number 5 answer is tater tots.
Oh my gosh.
And your number 2 answer is, are you ready for this? And I would not have guessed this in a million years. I do not know how this is the number 2 answer. Soup.
Really?
Yes.
What?
All right, for our viewers at home, you have one last chance to take Kenny on tonight, or nobody gets a mug. Kenny, are you ready for the last and final round?
I don't know. Let's just go with it. I'm not. Oh, Christina said it best. I'm overthinking it, and I am. All right. I will try not to.
All right, here we go. Answers. Round 4. Tell me something you can buy that costs $1 or less.
These days?
We were just talking about this. This was your hint. We were talking about the dollar store.
Oh, gotcha.
Name something you can buy that costs $1 or less.
Candy.
I'm going to give it to you.
This wrong. I'm going to throw this computer. Okay. Yeah, I was going to say gum. I was going to say
I'm
gum.
going to give that to you.
What else?
I don't have judges here to look over the answers and tell me I can give that to you, so I'm judging it myself.
Gum. Exactly, Christine. You're exactly right. We're in 2025. It's just, what is this here?
Tell me something you can buy that costs $1. And if it helps you, go back to 2020. All right, 2015.
Okay. Gum.
$1 or less.
A stamp? Oh, wow. Okay. A card. Hmm.
Kenny, I'm going to give you 30 seconds.
Oh. Stamp. Gum. I wonder what the number one answer is. Come on. Let's see.
Actually, number one answer I bought recently.
Really?
Yep, and it cost me
For $1 or less?
Well, it cost me a lot less than $1.
Where did you buy it?
You buy it at the grocery store or the convenience stores where I bought it, but it's not a likely place to buy it at the convenience store. I just saw it there and I wanted it.
A donut? I don't know. Gosh.
All right, Kenny, you got 1, 2, 3, 4 more answers on the board. You have 2 strikes, and then we're going to turn it over to the people at home, and we're going to see if they beat you out tonight and if they steal the game. Kenny, you got about 20 seconds to give me
Hard roll.
something you can buy for less than $1.
I was going to say coffee. But that's not true.
All right. We'll come back to that in a second. Going to the people at home. Because what did you say before that?
Coffee?
No, before that. You said, forgot what you said. What did you say before coffee?
Hard roll.
Hard roll, that's it. Going to the people at home. Give me an answer. Name something you can buy for less than $1. Who's going to be the first person to put the answer in there and see if they can get some points? Who's going to be the first one to get credit for winning or losing to Kenny Burns on the Ken and Mike Show? Pressure's on at home. Nobody wants to be the first person to jump in there. Because I know we're up to speed now online, so you guys are going to have about... And Christina says bottle of water. I am going to classify that as a win because it is a soft drink. Kenny.
Didn't I say soda? No, I didn't.
No, you did not. So this points. All right, Christina, go ahead and see if you can give us another one. But that gets 142 to 64, or 164. So, Kenny, you are the winner. Just for ha-has tonight, so we can give you...
You're going to give me the want?
Kenny is the winner right now.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, Kenny, you're winning for tonight. Nobody gets a mug, but you used to be able to buy a newspaper.
Oh, my gosh. I didn't even think about that.
You used to buy some fast food off the dollar menu.
That
And
is
last but
true.
not least, you could buy a piece of fruit.
Oh, my gosh.
I bought a banana at Stewart's.
There's so many. When I think about like the dollar. Oh, yeah. Yeah. That is. Oh, really? That's funny.
Ramen noodles. Yeah, that's a good point.
Lottery ticket.
Well, thank you for participating in the trivia. Unfortunately, nobody wins a Ken and Mike Show mug tonight. Kenny, you walk away the winner. And I got to say, Kenny, I think you're about 2 for 6 or 7 here. So,
Hey.
but you won tonight. So give yourself a big round of applause.
That's exciting stuff right there. And hey, you know what? Sometimes, again, you're looking at somebody like same thing. I was that guy that if you put a math equation in there, it's obvious that it's only going to be solved one way. But if you give me what's the best option here, I'm going to think about 10,000 different things.
Absolutely. Yep. And when you're put on the spot, sometimes it makes it harder. Christina says she's still waiting on hers. Well, Send us your address and I'll mail it to you. Or if I happen to see you out in the town, I will give it to you. I'll put it in the truck. So, Kenny, anything you want to top off with tonight's Ken and Mike show? Hey, guys, while you're there, put some comments in the chat there, what you would like us to address as a topic. And we welcome people to come on the show and actually participate in the conversation. You don't have to do it on camera unless you choose to. You don't have to do it via audio and call in unless you choose to. But you can right there in the chat. Let us know what you want to talk about. We should discuss. Ken and I started this show back in 2018, I believe. Mm-hmm. And it was an opportunity to pull up to the chair, have a cup of coffee together, and talk about real issues that relate to faith, politics, and with anything that's going on in pop culture and in society. We started off as a faith-based show where we talked a lot of things that related to faith and how it can be relatable, and we don't have to have our noses up in the air and dog everybody for their belief system, but we have an open forum to just talk about it, and no condemnation and no judging. But we also want this to be an open format to talk about all the topics and all the things. Obviously, there will be some boundaries, that there won't be any language crassness or tearing people down. But we want to have the difficult conversations, the fun conversations as well.
A little bullying.
A little bullying, yes.
But by the way, if you all those who are watching too, do me a favor, go to our YouTube channel as well. Throw some comments in there too, because that's going to kind of help us so we can communicate that way too. Because here we do get a lot, but in the YouTube section would be super helpful as well. But we're super thankful that you do join us each time we do this. It's been a couple of weeks, but Mike, you're exactly right. We started this in 2018. We actually did a lot of great things, and it was a lot of fun.
We had a lot of guests. And Kenny, I didn't tell you, but I actually promoted us on TikTok, and we got some people that had asked me if we're on Rumble because they subscribe to that, and I do believe we are on there. Correct?
We are on Rumble. We are. Yep, we are. I think there's a couple of shows I need to add there, but we absolutely are. So you can let them know that. Yep. Ken and Mike show on Rumble. And so it's great. We do you remember we actually talked with, and just to put a couple things out there, we had some great guests, incredible conversations. If you look back to some of our old shows with like Dr. Steve Turley, for example, mm-hmm. And you see we get these accommodating folks like himself, who is a huge YouTuber, and he was able to share that show, and on his side, that thing's got like 80,000 views, right?
Right.
And so that's the kind of fun stuff we love doing, and we have really great conversations, solid conversations, and that's what we're jumping towards once again. But again, I don't have anything to add. I just hope that you watch your back there. Connecticut's right behind you. Well, that guy is out there on loose.
Listen, I am more than happy to turn over my personal TikTok page to the Ken and Mike show, because I did start the Ken and Mike show, but since it wasn't active, we got booted. But if anybody wants to follow me on TikTok, when we get above 1,000 subscribers, we are able to go live. So I will more than be willing to broadcast this simultaneously on TikTok, set the phone up, and we'll put the Ken and Mike show live on there as well. That would be, I think, a great avenue. But we need to get there. So follow us, hit the bells, hit the links, share us.
All the stuff.
Do it all. And, well, within reason. Kenny, it's been real and awesome.
Always is, man.
We always have a good time, and we always run over, but I think it's fun. So
it is always fun. Absolutely. So, and you can catch us again. You can share this with your friends. Let them know that the produced version will be out on Thursday. But other than that, Mike,
Kenny,
bless you, dude. Have a great rest of your week.
See you next week, and we'll see everybody else as well.
Yep.
God bless.